Previously on X-Men.
My name is Sinister. Mister Sinister.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, DJSiQRiQ.
And your girl, Martha.
And we're going to do a little, not really a surprise thing, because I guess the thumbnail is going to give away the spoilers of what's actually in there. It's more of like a live reaction for us. Right? Whatever.
Yeah, you get to see us react to what we ordered.
Right.
So, let's get started.
Yeah.
Alright, so I am super excited to open this up. Shall we talk about what's in there?
Sure.
So, we initially, it's a pop, big surprise. We initially thought this pop was coming out a lot sooner than what it actually did.
I think it did. It came out a lot sooner. It's just
Maybe we missed the train.
We've been stuck indoors for so long.
We don't know what happened, but we were on the lookout for it, and we weren't able to find it
What do
until...
you think of Walmart's packing job so far?
It's not bad. I mean, there's nothing in there. It was kind of like rolling around. I mean, not rolling, but there was no like cushion. So this pop is part of the collection series of one of my favorite lines, X-Men, and this is Mister Sinister. So Rick and I recently rewatched the episode of the X-Men animated series where it shows the origin story of Mister Sinister. And we are initially introduced to him as Dr. Nathaniel Essex. And he is a member of the Royal Society in 1859. And him, along with Charles Darwin, are in this conference of theirs, and Charles Darwin is actually talking about the evolution of humanity, and Dr. Essex is enamored with the idea of natural selection. And he's been doing some of his own research as well on his end because he's very fascinated by that whole human mutation. And so he has some connections where he goes out and he finds mutants with certain abilities, and he invites Charles Darwin back to his house, and he wants to show him that these two mutants, their abilities. He's actually the director of an asylum, and he's been secretly experimenting on these mutants. And so when Charles Darwin comes over to his house, he wants to show him their abilities. And Charles Darwin actually takes offense to it because he thinks it's nothing but what he calls parlor tricks.
I came today expecting some minor breakthrough in biology, and instead, you insult these learned men with parlor tricks and quackery.
So he gets very offended, and he ends up getting expelled from the Royal Society as a result of that whole situation, which only makes him dive deeper into his research because he wants to now really prove his theory that he can cure any type of disease through human mutation. So he ends up kind of secluding himself from everybody when he's diving deeper into this research and doing experiments on his own, or on himself rather.
Excellent.
And this is what we get. Mister Sinister.
It will be easier if you don't resist, and less dangerous. My name is Sinister. Mister Sinister.
So anyway, we recently I had to read the his first introduction in the comics, because that story, it's similar to how it is in the comics. That story takes place in the further adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix. I don't have that one, so we just end up watching the episode, which is pretty close. It just, there's a lot of things they do take out of that episode, like Apocalypse. His children are completely absent from the episode. His wife kind of just leaves him in the episode, and then his name origin, like where he got his name, are kind of like just the differences. But for the most part, that cartoon is fairly close to the comic, yeah. But we also read the Mutant Massacre, which is his first introduction.
And his first mention is actually in issue 212 of the Uncanny X-Men. And this is where Sabretooth actually mentions him for the very first time in the comics. And it turns out that Sabretooth is pretty much Mister Sinister's henchman. And him and Wolverine are kind of fighting, and that's where we end up finding out that he's part of Mister Sinister's team.
The Marauders.
The Marauders, who killed the Morlocks. Now, the first silhouette appearance is actually in issue 213 of the Uncanny X-Men, which came out in January 1987. And when I first read this, I couldn't believe that this was Mister Sinister. There he is in all his glory. And Psylocke was going into Sabretooth's mind, and that's where she saw the silhouette of Mister Sinister. So that was in issue 213.
Yeah, he made his first full appearance in 221, but that's another comic I don't have. That one is actually collected in the Fall of the Mutants oversized hardcover, which is basically just kind of another omnibus. That one's out of print.
Oh.
So hopefully it might get, I think it's scheduled to actually be reprinted as an omnibus. I'm not 100% sure, but hopefully it gets reprinted pretty soon, because I would like to collect it.
That'd be super sweet if we could get our hands on that one.
But yeah, we do have the
Ed Piskor,
which is
pretty much the
follow-up, or it's that same issue,
right?
But, yeah, it's the issues that I am missing in between.
So here he is.
What do you think? Does the pop look pretty close to the?
Okay, so I think they nailed it.
What's the paint job on it look like? Like the.
So it's not. It is metallic, but I was thinking that it was a little more metallic than what he is. A bauble, though. I really love that. The metallic part of him, I thought there would be more metallic-y paint on him than just like his trunk. It's just like the very middle part. I guess I was expecting it to be a little bit more shiny, but he looks good. I think they nailed his costume spot on, especially like the back part.
His cape.
His cape. Thank you. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I think they nailed it for the most part. I really do like this pop and this collection.
How's his hair paint job look like to his face?
Actually, the paint job looks pretty decent. He does have a little I was gonna say a little foundation. His white face makeup is a little bit on his black hair. But it looks like it's just a speck. It looks like it's kind of coming off now that I'm scratching it off. It's no biggie. But yeah, I think the pop in general looks great. To be honest, I really like it. He is a little dusty here and there, but
I healed your broken body.
And he doesn't stand up too well on his own. He kind of wobbles a little bit, but all in all, I think they actually nailed it. I really like this pop a lot.
I gave you new life, but your mind was beyond repair.
So, shall we move on with our other box?
Sure.
So
I know what's in here. But
yeah,
You don't.
I was just gonna say Rick knows, but I don't. So it's gonna be a surprise for me. It's not as heavy as the last box, that's for sure.
Yeah, it actually is pretty light.
It's really light compared to that last one. That last one had 4 books in it. Jeez. Weighed like 30 pounds. Oh. I recognize this. Oh, sweet. Now we have another version of a of Ed Piskor's what was it?
The Grand Design.
Yeah, the Grand Design. Nice.
Yeah, so that's the omnibus form of it.
Sweet. Okay. All right. So, this is the front. And this one doesn't have any
Of his issues.
of his issues on the back. I know you're not a fan of that. Alright.
I actually have all those issues too.
And floppies?
Yeah.
Nice.
So this would be my 3rd time buying this.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I don't know. Can you tell the difference in the color of the pages?
Oh, I haven't really got a chance to look at that book yet.
So here's the 9.8 version. The white pages. And the not so white pages. Yeah, this looks exactly like your other book.
The Treasury edition.
That's exactly what that looks like. But this looks dope because the white on this actually pops on these pages, which is what I really like about that version. Oh, I saw a red jersey. I was like, oh, Niners. This looks good though. You know, these pages don't feel like the glossy pages of your other books, of your other Omnis.
I don't know, it feels like
It feels just like
the paper quality.
yeah.
That's really tight.
Yeah. This feels just like your other, and they're thick pages. They're not flimsy pages. The quality of the paper is like heavyweight, if that makes any sense. It's like thicker.
So the back of the page is like the white pages. Those are basically like his
Initial sketches?
yeah, to set up the whole story.
Oh, like the rough draft of it. It's interesting to see how much detail they actually put into their rough draft of the comic. It's not too far. Well, I mean, yeah, once you add color and stuff, but it looks, I mean, for a rough draft, it looks like top notch compared to my drawing. Wow. This is nice. I've never seen an omnibus with these types of pages. This is dope. Man, the art in here is really, really nice. That is dope. Yeah, I actually started reading, was it that issue, love?
Yeah.
Ed Piskor's book? Yeah. Look at this.
Oh, okay, so it does, yeah, so, yeah, that's the first X-Men issue. The classic Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, X-Men 1.
I love how the white just pops on these pages. It really stands out. These look good. Oh yeah, I can totally tell his art.
Remind you of the Red Room?
It's reminding me of that nasty stuff that I was looking at.
I want to get that book when you're done with the Red Room.
Please don't. Please don't.
That book looks dope.
It looks really horrendous.
No, but speaking of X-23 and all that, so Mister Sinister in the movies, he never actually made his, on-screen debut in the movies. He was always like in the background. I guess he was the one responsible for all the kids in Logan that were being tested on and all that.
Oh, okay.
You could say like it was Mister Sinister. We haven't seen New Mutants, but he's referenced in New Mutants. And in at the end, I don't know if you remember this, but at the post-credit scene in X-Men Apocalypse, there's a clear reference to Mister Sinister at the end of that, where Wolverine broke out and all that. You see him doing cleanup and collecting blood samples and all that stuff, and then there's a briefcase that they put like a blood sample in or something, and then that's when it says Nexus Corp.
Oh, on the outside of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You probably don't remember that.
I don't remember. But, fun fact. So that's it for Dr. Nathaniel Essex. Come check us out again next time. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Share, like, don't like for all you haters. We don't care. Leave some feedback for us. We would appreciate it if you would let us know how we're doing. We don't hear from too many of you. So, anyways, talk to you guys soon. Be cool. See you later. Bye.
Essex is no more. From this day forward, you shall address me as Mister Sinister.